Last week, the door mount for my door panel came off. So I gotta take it off anyway so I can fix that. And I figured while I have it off, I might as well paint it. So we're gonna see how this DupliColor Vinyl and Fabric paint adheres to it. And we're just gonna see how well it does, especially since I'm doing a color change. So I don't know if you heard that when I opened up the door, but that mount in there is loose. So we're gonna take this off and then I'm gonna actually sand it down, because if you look, we've got, you know, some blemishes and things that have happened over the years. It's a 40-year-old truck, so that's stuff that you're just gonna have to deal with. I'm also gonna be changing out the hardware from these screws, going to something newer, something that's not gonna rust, and we're gonna see how well this thing paints up. So that's out. Yeah, it is a little on the dirty side, obviously. So I'm gonna sand it down just so we can, you know, smooth some of this stuff out. It's a truck, so it doesn't really need to be perfect, but look at that. That is the original color right there. I mean, it's even that stained, but I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. Again, it's not gonna be perfect, but we'll sand it and paint it, call it good. You know when you get into a project and you're like, oh, this will take like 5 minutes, this is no big deal, and then it ends up being like another hour and you get sidetracked and then you finally get on to your next project? Well, that's what just happened. I went to go and grease my window roller and one of the wheels had popped off. So I fought with that for a while and eventually just threw on some JB Weld. It's an old truck. I don't feel bad about it. Anyways, we got the window strip, the rubber off of there, and we got the little bonnet for the door lock off. So now we can actually start sanding this guy. Once we get it sanded, then we can clean it and start painting. So let's finally get to that. Reading the can, it said to go through and go over everything with a scuff pad, so I did that off camera, and now we get to paint. Let's see how this works. So got the bracket back on. I looked everywhere for the bolts and I could not find them. These are 10mm coarse thread bolts. That's what you're gonna need if you've lost these and you're trying to find them. None of the parts places will tell you exactly what they are. I'm talking like LMC Truck or Brothers, because they want to sell you the bolt. But these are 10mm coarse thread bolts, and that will secure that on there. All right, guys, this is what it looks like all finished. Now, I swapped out the Phillips heads for some bolts because they look better and they hold better. I got a little impatient, so chipped off a little bit of paint as I was putting them in. That's gonna happen when you're impatient like me and you are doing a color change on these. The ones that I needed to still use the screws on are the armrests, and for this one right here, obviously, I tried putting a bolt in and that's what happened. But all in all, compared to what it was, I'm pretty pleased with this. Even though I thought this was black when I was getting it. I like the gray, it's growing on me. All right, guys, let's recap. So, is it worth it to do a vinyl and fabric paint or spray paint on your vehicle? Yes and no, and here's why. If you're looking to do a detailed restoration, I would save the money and I would go and get some new panels. It's just going to turn out better. You'll get the colors that you want and it'll be higher quality. My panels in my truck, they were already crappy. They've been in the sun for almost 40 years now, and I did a color change too, so if I nick anything on it, it's really going to show. But really, I did this out of curiosity to see if this is actually a good route to go down. Now, had I used the DupliColor adhesion promoter, this would have worked better for me. But for a quick little color change, something super cheap, I mean, this was under 20 bucks for the can, and I went through like 3/4 of it when I did this, just because I like having multiple coats of paint on there. It really isn't a bad setup, and I was actually really surprised with the leather, because leather is more pliable and it adhered to it well. When I depress the leather, it doesn't show the color underneath, so I was pretty impressed there. If you are just trying to touch up some flawed areas on your interior panels, I'd say go for it. I'd be hesitant to do it on my seats. I would honestly rather go to a junkyard and find seats out of like a Tahoe and throw those in there rather than trying to restore the old ones. They're super comfortable, don't get me wrong, but it's just so expensive to try and restore them or to get replacement seats because they're not ready available anymore. So that's my take on the DupliColor vinyl and fabric paint. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to see me try something else, I'll go ahead and be the guinea pig. I have no problem seeing what works, what doesn't. So just let me know down in the comments there. If you like this video, go ahead, like it. If you didn't like it, go ahead, dislike it. And subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. I also have a lot of other content on my channel as well. But thanks for watching, guys, and y'all have a great day.